Well, hello, hello. It is that magical time again. Learning math with Miss Audrey. Hopefully, you guys are doing all right. It's another fun, sun, and beautiful day here in Baltimore. I'm not sure where everyone else is, but I am loving life right now. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do a little bit of some things that I keep seeing on assessments, some things that a lot of my students are kind of having a little bit of problem with, or just some things that I've seen on ACT or SAT, because we know April's right around the corner. And what does April do? They do a whole lot of testing. So you can use this definitely as a review or some things that's coming up. Yes, hello. It's just like I'm here on time. Yay. And thank you so much for the review. It really did bring a tear to my eye, I have to admit. I don't know, just been very emotional lately. So, but this is what we're working on today. We're going to be doing some parallel lines cut with a transversal. Yes, this is a little more geometry. And then there are different types of angles that are being cut by a transversal. And you're probably saying, well, Audrey, what's a transversal? Well, let me tell you. So we know that parallel lines are two lines that do not intersect. And I have my line L and my line M. And then it's cut by another line that creates these lovely angles, a total of 8 angles. This line that's cutting the parallel line, that's called your transversal. So let me kind of zoom in just a little bit, and now I'm going to have you guys take a screenshot. So this might be like super easy. All right, but we are going to be adding a little bit of algebra to this so we can get some practice with solving equations. So with this transversal, it's creating basically 4 different types of angles. So let me slide this over and see if I can zoom in so you guys can take either a picture or sometimes I wish they didn't have so much publication so we can actually use the full screen. I don't remember this. This is actually part of geometry. So the different types of angles. Good. So we have what's called corresponding angles. Now, corresponding is the one that I remember has the slide. So if I'm sliding along the transversal, so if I kind of use this little bit right about here, this is my transversal. Here are my 2 parallel lines. So if I look at angle 1, and I slide down, it should match up to this other angle right here, which is at 67. So if I trace this angle and I slide along the transversal, it's going to be in the same spot, but on the other parallel line. Same thing is happening for this angle over here. So if I copy this angle right here and I slide down my transversal, it should match the measure of this angle right here, okay? So these 2 angles are called corresponding angles, and they are congruent. So if this is like 103 degrees, which I know it's not, but I'm just saying, if this is 103 degrees, that means this one is also 103 degrees. Yes, welcome on in, everyone. All right. Then we have what's called alternate interior angles, okay? Alternate, think about it. Alternate, one's on one side, one's on the other side. Interior means that it's inside. So if I can go, just for a moment, I'm going to come back to this. If I go back to my larger one, the interior, it's almost like this is the inside of 2 pieces of bread if you're looking at a sandwich, okay? So all the good stuff of a sandwich is usually in between the 2 pieces of bread. So this, in between the 2 parallel lines, that's your interior. Actually, I'll just do a marking over here so you can get that. So this is your interior. I'm going to unzoom in a moment, but I just want you to see it. So in between the two parallel lines is your interior. Anything outside your parallel lines, this is going to be your exterior. Okay, and let's see if I can put that up here as well. Okay, so in between the parallel lines, that's your interior. Outside the parallel lines is your exterior. All right. Good morning, buenos dias. Not a problem. Not a problem. And thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. All right. So corresponding angles slide along the transversal. Okay, alternate. Alternate means one's going to be on one side of the transversal, one's going to be on the other side of the transversal. So that will be alternate. Alternate interior. Notice they're not on the same line. One's up and opposite, one's down and opposite. Okay, these are alternate interior. Okay, these are alternate interior. So opposite sides of the transversal in between the parallel lines. Then we have alternate exterior. Remember, the exterior is on the outside. Alternate, one's going to be on one side of the transversal and the other's going to be on the other side of the transversal. All right. Then the last one, I get different verbiage. It's weird because it depends on who I'm tutoring and what state they're in. I don't know why. Some people will call it consecutive. Okay, it's consecutive, or sometimes they will say same side. So they will say consecutive interior angles, or they would say same side interior angles. So no matter what, the consecutive or the same side, they always add up to equal 180 degrees. Okay, so they equal 180. Whereas the other ones, the alternate interior, the alternate exterior, and the corresponding, they're all congruent to each other, meaning they're going to be the same measurement. All right, so we're looking at the same measurement. Hello, Leanne. How are you? It's been a minute. I know, it's probably just because of my crazy schedule. It's so hard to pinpoint it down. All right. So if you want to take a quick little snapshot of it, go ahead, because we have the corresponding angles, the alternate interior angles, the alternate exterior angles, and I like to say same side. That's how I was taught it, but it's also called the consecutive, okay, especially consecutive interior angles. All right. Oh, yeah, there is something funky going on. Well, there's a lot of things funky going on. So I'm really glad that you're feeling better. Yes, rest, and then you're doing math. Okay. Yeah, let's just put you over the edge, girl. Let's just completely put you over the edge. All right, so let's unzoom a bit. Let me slide so we can kind of walk ourselves through this. All right. Then, actually, there's another set of angles that people really should know about. Just taking a look at that, let me add that to it. The other one are called vertical angles. And this L with the little s, that means angles. So if you're like, what the hell is that? That's what that means. That's a symbol for angles. So you got vertical angles. Verticals start with a V. Okay, so it's angles that are basically directly across from each other. That's giving you like a V shape. So like if this is angle A here, this is angle B here. So that means angle A is going to be congruent to angle B. So if this angle was 45 degrees, that means this angle across from it's going to be 45 degrees. if this angle up here, which I'm going to call angle C, let me use, can I use, it's a different color. Well, I'll use the pink. So if this is angle C and this is angle D, that means angle C is going to be congruent to angle D. All right. So if they're creating a V and they're meeting at a common point directly across from each other, they are congruent. All right. Good. Okay. Because sometimes people forget to add that part of the list. So let's play around with it. So let's just say we have the measure, and I'm going to come back to my larger one. Let's see if this is good enough for our film. Okay. So let's say that angle 3, and let's say angle 3 is, let's say 126 degrees. Okay, so that's the measure of angle 3. Just by looking at it, okay, we just know one angle. And just by knowing that one angle, we can get some more information. Anybody want to take a guess? Because once I show it to you one time, you're going to possibly get it. Anyone sees any other angles that may be similar or congruent?
Part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional grade supplies for every
Okay,
industry.
so I got 6, I got 2, I got 2. Okay, I got Football King saying 2, yes. Okay, so the ninja that says 6 and Breezy says 6 and 7. Okay, Peggy, oh, awesome. What's the question? Hello, Lisa. I just want to know what other angles on here is also, let's say it's also 126. So it looks like a lot of people are saying 2. Some people are saying 2, 6, and 7. We have some people saying 7 and 6. Okay, we also got 4. Okay, we got 2, 3, 6, and 7. Okay, so the reason why angle 2 is also 126 is because we have vertical angles. Okay, because we got vertical angles. Now, someone said 7 was also 126. And what type of angles is 3 and 7? What kind of angles are they? Take a look at your list. What kind of angles is 3 and 7? This is where I stumped everybody. They're like, it just looks like it, Audrey. Okay. Acute, but think about the angles that we had in our little list that was over here. Shrink. Okay, see if we can get our little list. So we have corresponding angles, which was the slide. We had alternate interior angles. Interior means in between the parallel lines. Alternate exterior angles. That means both angles are outside the parallel lines and on different parts of the transversal. Okay. So Lisa will be one or the other. And then we have Ralph that says corresponding. I think this is Ruth saying, yes, I think it is Ruth. Saying corresponding. Okay. Alternate interior. Yay, Ruth. It feels so much nicer instead of saying user 135269228430 because that's exhausting. Okay. But I get it. Leanne saying consecutive. Okay, so let's take a look. So if I traced, I wish I had tracing paper, but I don't. If I traced angle 3, okay, and I slide down my transversal, is it going to stop at 5 or 7? So if I trace angle 3 and then I slide down this transversal, would I stop at 5 or 7? Okay, good. We got 7. We got 7. Yes, I would stop here at 7. So because I slid, good, Ruth, slid down my transversal. Yes, Arlene, good job. It's going to stop here at 7. These are what's called corresponding angles. So when I'm able to trace and slide and match up, they're called corresponding angles. So which angle will correspond with angle 2? Which angle? Okay, good. So which angle will correspond with angle 2? We got 6. You can see that it's smaller and the same. Yes, but here's the one thing, Lisa, and I get it. With geometry, it's all about proving. Because you can see the print, and they always put in print like, well, I didn't write it down, not drawn to scale. So that means you really can't use your eyes. Like sometimes you'll see a question that clearly, like number 2, clearly number 2 is not 126 degrees. Look how small that acute angle is. And we're saying it's 126 degrees, right? So if I trace 2 and I slide down, I'm going to hit angle 6. Okay? Plus, angle 6 and angle 7, they're vertical angles too, right? So, taking a look at all of that. So, taking a vast look. So that means anyone that said angle 2, angle 3, angle 6, and angle 7 will equal 126. You were correct. All right, awesome. So now, what would the measure of angle, let's say angle 1. What would be the measure of angle 1? Okay, I'm seeing question marks. Question marks on... Okay, film artist. I know your real name, but I'm not sure if you want me to say your real name. Okay, so yes. Okay, we got 54. We got 54. I got 74. Not understanding the slide. Okay, so if I trace number 2 and I take this, like if I had some tracing paper and I took this and I just moved down along my transversal, just come, you know, like how you trace something and you just want to slide it down? It's going to slide and match up with angle 6 because angle 2 is going to have the same measure as angle 6. Okay. All right, Lexi says 54. Okay. Are you okay now? Okay, got it. Good. All right. So, how are we getting it? And I think it was Sydney. Was it? Yes, it was Sydney. Sydney, why did you say 180 minus 126? Where's this 180 coming from? You just making up numbers? No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously. Like, where did you get the 180 from? Okay, where's the 180 coming from? Supplementary angles, straight lines. Ah, a line measures 180 degrees. Yes. So if I just hid all this stuff, okay, Angle 1 and angle 2, they're on the same line. They create one line. So if we know that a line equals 180 degrees, and we know that one angle is going to be 126, so that means this other angle is going to be 54. I'm not sure if that's the color that I want. Let me do some purplish. I think that might come up a little bit better. Yeah, this comes up so much better. Okay, so we got 54 degrees. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. So the measure of a straight line is 180 degrees. Okay, so should the obtuse angle be greater? Yes, it should. It should. But this is not drawn to scale. Okay, this is definitely not drawn to scale. Okay, I totally get you, Rafa. All right, so if by chance, if angle 1 is 54 degrees, give me another angle that should equal 54 degrees. Put it in the chat. What will be another angle that will equal 54? Okay. Black dot says 8. Okay. The rest of them. Okay. All right. So we got 4. Okay. All right. So, and we got 4. All right. So black dot, because I don't know what that thing is. Okay. Joanne is saying 5. Okay, 4, 5, and 8, which is like the rest of them. Drig, we're saying 4, 8, and 5. Okay. No 8. Okay. So, if this is 54, then angle 4 will be 54. Why? What kind of angles is 1 and 4? Abba Abba? Or should I sing Mamma Mia? Okay. So, good. Marilyn, good. 1 and 4, they're creating a V. So that is your vertical angles for 1 and 4. Now, 1 and 8. What type of angles are these? Okay, 1 and 8. Oh, thank you. Finish my engineering degree. So much. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Yes, what's up? Yes. So alternate. One's on one side of the transversal, the other one's on the other side. And they're outside the parallel lines. So they're alternate exterior angles. And alternate exterior angles, they're congruent. Yes, Bridget, geometry. All right, awesome. And then what was missing? Why 1 and 5? What type of angles are 1 and 5? Because they're congruent as well with our 54 degrees. What type of angle is 1 and 5? Geometry. Yes. What type of angles is 1 and 5? Okay. This should be obtuse. But again, this is not drawn to scale. I know. Because this is what happens when you take an example off the internet. Please slide over the angles. I need to take another that. Yes. Okay, not a problem. Let me know if I need to raise up or something. Well, 1 and 5 are not supplementary. Okay, supplementary means that they're forming a straight line, which gives me 180 degrees. Marilyn, do I need to raise it up? Okay, got you. Yes, they are going to be corresponding. Because if I take angle 1 and I slide down that transversal, I get to angle 5. So angle 1 and angle 5, they are corresponding angles. No problem. Good job. All right. So we're able to know. Notice it was basically 2 angles. Okay, 2 degrees really. So you can find them by corresponding. You can find them by vertical angles. You can find them by alternate interior angles like 3 and 6. They're alternate interior. And 4 and 5 are alternate interior. Because remember, all the good stuff is between the 2 pieces of bread. Okay? Alternate exterior is going to be 2 and 7, as well as 1 and 8. Now, the one that we did not mention is the consecutive. So let me show you what the consecutive looks like. So consecutive means same side. So angle 4 and angle 6, if I cover it up like this, angle 4 and angle 6, they're on the same side of that transversal. But what is 54 plus 126? Yes, Ryan. Look at you. In my brain. Okay. Yes. So they are going to be, yes, Bridget, it's going to be 180 degrees. So the only angles that equals 180 is your same side, or they may name it as consecutive angles. So if they're on the same side, like 4 and 6, as well as 5 and 3, they're going to equal 180 degrees. Just like how 1 and 2, they equaled 180 degrees because they are supplementary angles. They're also known something else because sometimes geometry, we love to have more than one definition talking about the same thing. It's 2 words. And it has the same indication as supplementary, but it's 2 words. Angle 1 and angle 2 are called a what? It's 2 words. First word, I'll give you a hint. First word, first letter is an L. Second word, first letter is a P. I feel like Vanna White. Maybe we should.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager. Mom!
That's hilarious.
Thanks to the Chase Mobile, your kid can shop.
Yes, Lizzie!
Can go from
I don't know what you won.
to
Oh, I don't have my thing out. Oh, wait. Hold on. I got you. Okay. Not level parallel, but it is called a linear pair. All right. So, Lizzie, this is for you.
That was easy.
There we go. Yes, you tried. Hey, right? So that was what we're basically doing. You're probably like, what was that? Remember this commercial from a while ago? Okay. Someone gave me this like multiple years ago. So here we go. All right. So that's what we're looking at. Okay. So we have what's called a linear pair. Linear pairs are 2 angles add together to equal 180 degrees, aka they are supplementary. All right. Same thing with 5 and 6. Same thing with 7 and 5, 8 and 6. We get the idea. All right. So let's do a little bit more. Let's do some more soul searching. Let's do some more soul searching. All right. So we probably already know what number 1 is. So the measure of angle 1, I might do it a little bit bigger so you guys can see them because they are little teeny tinies. Okay, so we have this angle here, which is 67. The measure of angle 1 is going to be, yes, Tallies. Tallies, I haven't seen you for a minute. How are you? This is over my head. I'm at 8th grade level math. I'm barely doing that. Well, we're taking our time. I love it. I love that you're putting in the effort. Yes, I got 2s, that's that, and 67. I'm good, glad to be here. Yes, I'm glad that you're here too. It's so nice to see people I haven't seen for a minute. Okay, so the measure of angle 1 is going to be 67. Because if I take this angle 67 and I slide up my transversal, it's going to match right up with angle 1. Okay, yes, it's got our 67. Awesome. So now, let me slide some oil to me. Okay. Number 2. Oh no, yes. So, what is the measure of HJK? Anytime they give you an angle and they give you 3 letters, that means that vertex is always going to be right set in the middle. So you got HJK. So this is our unknown side. What do we got? So we got Ryan, we got Talents, we got Lily, we got a face, blue face, saying it's going to be good. So it's 142. Why? What type of angles do we have here? Let me give you guys a moment. What type of angles do we have here for number 2? From here to here. Okay, Ryan saying corresponding. Good job, London. And like Katie? I think it's Caddy. All right. So we have those corresponding, because if I take this angle of 142 and I slide up the transversal, it's going to match right in my unknown space. Okay. I don't know what Math 1 is. Well, I need this for class. Okay, awesome. All right. Number 3. Ooh, sorry, got caught up. All right. Number 3. What's the measure of angle 3?
Welcome to a moment of calmness from one day. That's right, a calming moment from a vitamin brand. Wait, don't zone out yet. One a day multi.
So you're trying different sounds. And of course, I love how you're supposed to meditate, but yet we got all this talking. How are we supposed to meditate when we're talking? All right, let's try this. Okay, so we got 111, 111, 111. Wait. Crying. Why are we crying? 111. Good. Am I right? Are you? 111? 111 is on the opposite side. Yes, you guys are right. Okay? And the reason why, what kind of angles are these? Especially those that were here. What kind of angles are these? The angle 3 and the 111 given. What's up? Go ahead, erase that question mark. Good. Alternate, yes. Alternate interior angles, yes. Alternate interior. Mark, hello. Yes. Okay. So they're going to be called alternate interior. The lines that are here are parallel. But since it's in between the two parallel lines, that's your interior. And the reason why it's alternate, because one's on one side of the transversal and the other one is on the other side of the transversal. All right, good. All right, so let's slide over number 4. What is the measure of angle 4? Oh, blessed RN, are you still in here? How are you feeling? This girl was dying, doing all kinds of fun stuff last night. Okay, so I'm seeing 90, 90, 90, 90. Okay, anytime you see this box symbol, that means this is 90 degrees. Okay, but they're on the same side. Why would this be 90? Good. Mark, you're reading my mind. Am I that pretentious? Yeah, maybe I am. All right. Because you guys already know. Right. So we have, right, you got your perpendicular bisectors. Good. And plus they're the same side interior. Same side interior means they equal 180 degrees. 180 minus 90 gives me 90. Right, good. Same side, lovely, good. All right, Marilyn, look, you got it. Interior, yes. And since they're on the same side, gives us our 90 degrees. All right. So now, let's try number 5. Let's see if I can angle it up a little bit. Okay. Find out what my angle RST is. That means S is going to be my vertex. We want to know what is the measure of RST. There you go. Good. I got 130s, 130s, exterior angles, 130s, 138 degrees, 138. Living this. All right. And then we have Apple user. That's another name I haven't seen in a minute. How are you? Okay. So we have alternate exterior angles. Alternate, one's on one side, one's on the other side. Exterior because we're outside the parallel lines. So they are also congruent. So 138 degrees. Nicely done, guys. All right, so just like everything else in life, I'm seeing a 42. Why am I seeing a 42? Are congruent, yes. And then since we're looking at RST, that's going to give me my 138. Okay, we're good. All right, so now we're going to take this a step further. All right, you're like, oh God. No, it's okay. Keep remembering the patterns. Okay, the only ones really that we have to really focus on is those consecutive. If we can remember those consecutive angles because they equal 180, all the other ones are going to be congruent to each other. So let's take it to the other side, to the other page. And while I'm flipping and adjusting, if you guys can tap up, I will greatly appreciate that. Let's see if I can get like around 5K. Is that possible? Is that me being selfish? Let's do like a mad tap and let's see. Can we do circles? You missed the circles. I did the circles. I did the arc length last night. Last night? No, not last night. The 1 o'clock yesterday and Tuesday night. I know my days are just blending together. Yeah, it's not a problem. So I did the arc length. I did the area of the sector. Yep, did all of that. Okay, so now we're going to take it a step further. Okay, so we're going to take it a step further. Keep tapping if you can. We're going to add a little bit of algebra to it. I know. All of a sudden, your blood pressure just went up. Breathe. Contractions. It's okay. Okay? So now, one thing. What type of angles do we have here that's being represented? Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay? What type of angles is being represented here? Okay. So are they corresponding? Are they alternate interior, alternate exterior, consecutive interior, or vertical angles? Okay, so I got Mark, I got NM. Oh, well, hello, NM. Says corresponding. Lisa said there's going to be equal. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, Miss App. You were the first person that said corresponding. Drop that question mark. Okay, so it is corresponding. Okay, so if I traced this angle and I slide down my transversal, it will match up with this angle. So this is when we're going to do a little more algebra. So we have our 3x plus 23. And since these two angles are equal to each other, we're going to set the measure of their angles equal to each other. Okay, so this is how we're going to set it up. Okay, so I got Ryan and Mark both telling me 92. So let's see. So here we are. We want to make sure we get our x's on the same side of the equal sign. It really doesn't matter. A lot of teachers says, "Oh, I want it to be on the left-hand side." It could be on the right-hand side for all you want. It doesn't matter. Me personally, I know a lot of us don't like to deal with negatives, but we have to even it out. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. So when I do that, 3x minus 3x will cancel out. And what I'll bring down is my 23. Okay, equals 4x minus 3x gives me 1x, or just x. And you're probably saying, well, Audrey, people are saying 92. Like, how did they get 92? Pause. Always go back to the question. So it's saying, what's the measure of angle ABC? So angle ABC is 4x. So that means I'm going to write the measure of angle ABC, and it's going to be 4 times x. And this is when we're replacing that x with the 23. Okay. So we got our 12 carry over. So that's why the measure of angle ABC is going to be 92 degrees. Don't forget your degree symbol. So that'll be your answer. Okay. All right. Questions on that one? All right. Okay. All right. So now let's slide over. Okay, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to put it into the chat, okay? This is the only way we can learn. So now we have two parallel lines. And how do I know they're parallel? Look at the indication. Anytime you got this little arrowhead, that means parallel. So that means this line is going to be my transversal. So we have what type of angles? Let's see if anyone memorized. Did you make up these problems or did you find them online somewhere? I found them online somewhere. I'm not going to lie to you, Jen. General, I'm not even going to lie to you, babe. Not even. Because in between tutoring, emails, setting up lesson plans, reaching out to teachers about my special ed kids, going and dealing with the foolishness of life. Yeah, there are times I just have to pull them, right? There are times. Okay. So alternate interior, alternate interior, alternate interior. Yes. Okay. So since they are alternate interior, that means they are equal to each other or they're going to equal to 180. Which one? Yes. There are a couple. Actually, what is his name? So I don't know if you can copy and paste, but at least you can write this one down. Sugar. There we go. The tutoringhour.com. He does a lot of free worksheets, as well as he can do live worksheets as well. So just keep that into your arsenal. And then there's always the good old, not IXL. Oh, what's the other one? CUDA. There it is. And I think everyone uses CUDA. Oh, okay. I never heard of that one. Where the huzz at? The math huzz? What's that? I guess that's me. I don't know. All right. So, if we are actually, they're going to be equal to each other. Okay. So since they are alternate interior angles, they're going to be equal to each other. So we have A plus 28 equals 2A. All right. So now that we have it set up, they're both going to be equal to each other. So if I want to, I could, let's say, subtract A from both sides. And remember, if you don't see a number in front of the A, it's assumed to be 1. A itself is not 1. This is what a lot of teachers screw up at. They're like, oh, A is 1. No, it's not. A is any variable. It's any number from negative infinity to positive infinity. It's the coefficient of A. If you don't see anything, it will be a 1. So I'm bringing down my 28 equals 2A minus A. That gives me 1A, or just A. But they want the measurement of MNP. N is my vertex. So that means they're looking at so MNP says A plus 28. Okay. We found what A is. A is 28. So what's going to go in here is my 28. So that means the measure of angle MNP is going to be what? Yes, Sean. Yes, Raven. Okay. Cat, that's what we got for A. Good. Kick punch artist. Yes. General. Yes. Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. So, yes, we get our 56 degrees. Don't forget about the degree symbol. I know it's kind of hard to put a degree symbol in here. Okay. All right. Is this geometry? Yes, Young. This is geometry. I'm trying to sprinkle in a little bit of geometry here and there. Seems like I've been doing a lot of geometry this week. But it's also nice to know because some people are taking their SATs, their ACTs. This is in there. Some people are taking their ASVABs and all that. So I'm trying to sprinkle a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Put a little bit of flavor in just to kind of refresh your memory a little bit. What's the points called? What's the points? The points? What do you mean? The points. What's the points called? When will you do Algebra 2? I did a little bit of Algebra 2. I sprinkle in here and there. I know I'm going to go into completing the square, possibly like next week. Okay, we have to do some on GED. Yes. Okay. What would recommend for studying for the SAT? I heard the blue book is good. Anything else? Because if the blue book is Kaplan, is that Kaplan? And some people do Princeton Review. I mean, it just all kinds of mirrors together. And the one major thing is, did you take all of Algebra 2? Because they test up to Algebra 2. And this is the one thing that drives me nuts when they do SAT prep in the beginning of the year in October. And if you're currently in Algebra 2, you're not going to know what's going on. So obviously you're not going to score well because most of the time you're just going to guess it. So, yeah. And then who knows what's going to happen with the Department of Education. Oh, the stress, my loves, the stress. Who knows? Okay, not a problem. What happened? What happened to the 2? What do you mean? Oh, what happened to the 2 up here? Well, when we subtract A on both sides, 2 minus 1 gives me 1. So the 2 is no longer there. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to catch up on that. The 2 before and the 2, which one? Okay, yes, the 2A. Yep. Okay. No problem. All right, I'm caught up. Because sometimes these things go through and I'm like, what's happening? All right, so what are we thinking here? This one. Take a look. Don't throw out any numbers yet. Don't throw out any answers. You're so welcome. Don't throw out any answers yet. Hold on. Just take a look. DF. Hold on. Just take a look. Okay? Just take a look. Take a look at what exactly you are looking for. Okay? No problem. I mean, it feels good when you get an answer. You're like, oh, I know this. And you feel like you just can't resist. And I know, it's tough. But I like how you... Good. Studying. Not a problem. Okay. Jacob, hold on. Hold on to our answers, people. So, what do you think you have to do first? Put it in the chat. What do you think I have to do first? Because now it's a fight of 83 and a 97. But what do I have to do? Okay. All right. Christopher, hello. Okay. Something with the 83. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of that. DF is saying 180 minus the 83. Okay. You could tackle it that way. And you're trying to go, oh, hey. It's like Warlocat. Alternate interior angles. We have to calculate A. Okay. There's so many different ways. That's why I wanted to put it out there, because I don't want people to put an answer and they're like, oh, wait, let me change my answer. Like, no, there's multiple ways of getting to where we need to get to, which is where this X is. Okay. So some people saying we need to do A. Some people are saying we have to do 180 minus the 83. Is below 90. Now, here's the one thing, Jacob. I know it's not written here because I accidentally cut it. Sometimes it'll say something called not drawn to scale. That's the one thing with geometry. You can't use your eyes. I know it sounds so freaking crazy, but it's true. With geometry, you're constantly proving something. And they always, especially at SAT, they always put something that says not drawn to scale. Because then you'll be like, well, it looks like this. So the answer has to be that. And next thing you know, it's not that. Because of that one thing of saying not drawn to scale. 1 second. Okay. So, we are going to be finding X, Christopher. Yes. All right. Are those two lines parallel? Yes. Okay. With my indication that these two lines here are parallel, that means this line here is my transversal. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we can do and take this one of two ways. So I'm going to put this in pencil. We could, looking at the terminology that we're working on earlier, we can look at vertical angles. Oops. Vertical angles is one option. If this is 83, that means this is also 83. Okay. We can do that. We could tackle something called linear pairs. And we know linear pairs will equal 180 degrees. So I think people were saying, let me take a look at A. I can find A. So if I want to find A, I can take my 180 minus my 83. Right? Is this what some of you guys are thinking? Right? Okay, even Tyler's put it up there for me. Thank you so much, Tyler. Okay, so if we have that, that means we got our 97. So 97 will be the measure of angle A. But we're not looking for angle A. We're looking for our unknown. So some of you guys mentioned, okay, let's do the linear pair thing. But how would I find this? Yes. Is it Tiana? It's saying, yep, there are corresponding angles. Okay. All right. Thank you. I like to get proper pronunciation. Okay. So we got corresponding angles. Right? So if I have my 97, if I if I trace this angle A and I slid down